Hey everybody, welcome to Steam Pals, and thanks for stopping by. My name is Russ, I run a YouTube channel called Retro Game Core, and I'll be your host for today's episode. Now, Steam Pals is a collective of content creators making videos focused on the Steam Deck. We get together about once a month or so, and find a topic, and then we each record a segment talking about it. And in this month's video, we're going to be talking about the games that we play. You might think that's ironic because we obviously are making videos talking about playing games on the Steam Deck, but there's a difference between testing a game and actually playing it in your free time. And so that's what we're going to focus on in this video right here. If we weren't making videos about the Steam Deck, what are the games we would actually play? And so grab your favorite snack and drink and let's jump right in.
Hey Steam Pals, it's Liam here from Gaming on Linux. I'm answering a question of what I'm playing recently, but it's really quite difficult because there's just so many damn good games that have come out. However, one I keep coming back to is called Halls of Torment, which masterfully blends together a classic Diablo visual style with the gameplay hook made popular by Vampire Survivors. Giving you the constant feeling of just needing one more run. It can be a little bit punishing with the boss battles, and it really keeps 100% of your focus at all times. And once you unlock more of the characters, the game really does open up. There are currently 3 stages at least, 7 characters, 12 unique bosses, 30 unique monsters, 150 quests, 500 different character traits, and the list just goes on and on. Really, I just love the absolute pure chaos of this game. It's really great to just kick back with it and have a few runs. Before you know it, the clock has ticked over to 3 AM, but it was worth it. Halls of Torment is easily my absolute favourite in this survivor-like genre that has just exploded with so many clones because it is one of the most unique in the genre. I think a big part of my love for Halls of Torment is how I can just sort of entirely zone out with it. It's exactly what you need at the end of some busy days. Especially nice with the accessibility options where you can turn on auto aim and auto fire so it becomes like a one-stick shooter where you're purely focusing on your movement and the various upgrades just to build up your character. Those accessibility options are super useful as well because when you get halfway through a run, the enemy waves are just so over the top. It is insane, but your character can also become ridiculously powerful as well. It all depends on what type of character upgrades you pick at each level up, from collecting all the gems from all the downed enemies. You can make your character fire faster, have a bigger area of effect, faster movement, increase your HP gain, and lots more. And as you progress through each level, there's various mini-bosses and bosses, and when you take them down, they can give you new equipment or entirely new abilities, so it just keeps expanding the further you go through it. It's really great. Really cheap to buy as well. Halls of Torment is 100% worth a look.
Hey everyone, I'm Richard from Fanda Deck, and I want to tell you about the game I've been playing on the Steam Deck lately, Sea of Stars. To be honest, I've been playing this on both the Steam Deck and a Windows handheld called the One X Fly. Thank goodness for Steam Cloud, am I right? Anyway, this game is an absolute masterclass in game design. It borrows a bunch of things from classic 16-bit RPGs and forms a melting pot that is unlike anything out there. For example, there is a damage bonus for timing your hit just right. That comes from Mario RPG. There are team attacks, and those come from Chrono Trigger. There are little exploration puzzles that require you to think vertically, and those remind me of Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I think you're getting the idea. And on top of all that, the 9-hour-long soundtrack is moving, the script is endearing, the pace is impeccable, and the moments you get to wander around are fulfilling. Even still, this game is much more than the sum of its parts. It's an adventure with some new friends that you won't soon forget. You'll fight together, break bread together, and have some good laughs and cries along the way. It's been a while since I've been this engrossed in a game, and handheld play is really the perfect way to try this game. If you have yet to try it, there is still a demo that you can download, so make sure to give it a shot. I think you'll agree that it's well worth your time.
There are so many games coming out this year, and many of them are just so good. But of course, I've been mainly grinding away at 2 games. Armored Core 6 and HoloCure. Armored Core 6 might be my game of the year. It's a mech action game in which you can customize and build mechs to your heart's desire. Multiple mech parts that drastically change how your mech feels and how they control, and multiple weapons to pair with that mech. It really satisfies the Gundam fanboy within me. Like any other From Software game, it's difficult, but I think the reports of how difficult it is are greatly exaggerated. Like honestly, I think it's just a bunch of Dark Souls players trying to play Armored Core like it's Dark Souls when clearly they're not the same game. And unlike Dark Souls or Elden Ring, you're not fully committed to a build. You can change parts as needed between missions. So yes, if you're having issues with a mission, switch out some parts. Maybe you'll have a much easier time. I had very little issue with Balteus or the Sea Spider, and yeah, they took me a few tries. I didn't get it down the very first time, but I'm hearing reports that it took people like 50 tries to kill Balteus. That's insane. So yeah, I had a great time with Armored Core 6, but the real surprise hit here is HoloCure. I've actually played HoloCure before it came on Steam, but it's on Steam now, so it's easy to play. The game runs really well like 99% of the time, the other 1% being like towards the end of the run. You know, Ina-san owns a Steam Deck. Maybe we should have her as a Steam pal next. What do you guys think? Maybe I should do it for real. That said, very recently I've been playing some other titles that came out. And actually, as I was in the process of making this video, I got early access to Disgaea 7 courtesy of NIS America. And let me tell you right now, Disgaea has taken my life over once again. I'm not sure what it is that makes it so addicting. Is it the fact that the level cap is 9,999? Or maybe it's the fact that the character customization system is insane. Simply put, it's a perfect storm of things to chase and multiple different avenues of power, and I love it. I'd tell you more about it, but we've got a Steam Pals video to finish up.
Hey guys, this is my first time on Steam Pals, and it's also the first time that I've talked about this topic. I have a ton of handhelds that are more powerful than the deck, so I approach things a bit differently when I'm deciding what I will play on the deck. I recently got into Baldur's Gate 3 on desktop before switching over to the deck, but I'm not in love with how it runs on the deck, so I ended up doing what I usually do in these situations. I ended up buying all of the other games from the series, as well as the rest of the games that Larian makes, and I've been enjoying the entire collection. I am currently playing Divinity Original Sin 2, and it's close enough to Baldur's Gate 3 that it scratches the itch. It also runs at max FPS at my preferred TDP, so that's another big plus. I only tend to install a few games on my deck at any given time, and this is the game that I'm currently playing. If you haven't tried it out, it is definitely one to consider.
Hey guys, Turk here. I hope you're having a good one. For me, this month has been all about Fallout in space, better known as Starfield. I got day one access to the game, but unfortunately, I just couldn't get it working with the deck, and overall, it hasn't been that great of an experience. Luckily, my ROG ally has been able to run the game with a few tweaks, and it has been a great experience overall. Sure, the battery life isn't great, but I can hit about 40 FPS with FSR at about 70% on a mix of low to high settings at about 20 watts. Progressing through the main story has been a blast, and I've tried out both a Han Solo and Obi-Wan Kenobi build with great success. But I will admit, Starfield isn't a 10 out of 10 for me, but you know what game is an excellent supplement to Starfield? No Man's Sky. Hello Games has seen a resurgence in player count this past month, and No Man's Sky scratches that space exploration itch that just isn't quite there in Starfield. As expected, the Steam Deck can run this game at good quality settings, a locked 40 FPS, and over 2 hours of battery life. I've been searching for a good S-Class rifle multi-tool and a suitable S-Class ship to reach the final anomaly. Going into October, with any luck, Larian Studios will have an update with Baldur's Gate 3, so I can finally pick up the game and make my way through Act 3.
Hello everyone, it's Mel Casanova, and I have a very important question for you. When's the last time you thought of AK-47s and axolotls being put together and then making that into a game? You probably never have. And that's what we're here to talk about today. An indie game that I absolutely love, known none other as AK Axolotl. Let's talk about it. AK Axolotl stands out as an intriguing yet top-down shooter, casting you as an AK armed axolotl leading a battalion of the same. And today we're going to dive into my in-depth review of this game. We're going to delve into its narrative, as AK Axolotl follows an adorable axolotl. I know I'm saying axolotl a lot and I'm tripping up over my own words by saying that, but hey, bear with me, seeking retribution against hostile fauna interrupting its serene existence. Your journey pits you against a myriad of armed adversaries, and it's imperative to outfight them using extensive weaponry at your disposal. In conclusion, my foray into AK Axolotl was immensely gratifying. With its whimsical nature, captivating visuals, and layered gameplay, AK Axolotl delivers an enriching experience in a compact yet enthralling format. It earns my heartfelt endorsement.
Now, when it comes to playing games on the Steam Deck, you might be surprised. After all, I run a retro gaming channel, so you would expect I'd be playing something like Nintendo or Super Nintendo. However, I found that those games aren't a perfect fit for playing on the Steam Deck. I'd much rather play them on something a little bit smaller and lighter. And so as a result, I tend to play more heavyweight games, something that I can't play on those smaller devices. One of the main examples will be Wind Waker HD on the Nintendo Wii U. I first played that original game back 20 years ago, and I still haven't replayed it, and so this seems like a really good fit. However, as you'll find with the other content creators, I often will not have time to sit down and play a long marathon session, and so as a result, the next time I pick up the game, I might actually forget where I am or where I'm going. And so that'll often drive me to play games that are more pick up and play instead of continuing a longer story. From an emulation standpoint, I found that I mostly will just pick up Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and then play through a few rounds. And it's exactly the same when it comes to PC games. My most played games on the Steam Deck continue to be Hades and Vampire Survivors. However, there is one game I've been playing a lot more lately, and it's this one called Whisker Squadron Survivors. This one has a neat mixture of the space-style on-rail shooter that you would expect from Star Fox, but then also has some roguelike elements. For example, it's kind of a cyclical approach, so you play just one round at a time, and you get as far as you can before your ship blows up. And as you progress through that round, as you shoot down the enemies, you'll collect these coins, and those coins will level you up. And much like with Vampire Survivors, you'll have the option of choosing which things in particular you want to level up during that round. And the further you progress in the game as you go through each of those loops, you will also make some permanent upgrades, which will make it easier the next time you play it. And for me, this has been a really addictive gameplay loop that takes me about 20 minutes per session. And so among all the different emulated and PC games that I've been playing, this is the one that stood out for me, and I hope you enjoyed hearing about it. It's about $15 on the Steam store, and I think it's well worth it. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Happy gaming.
Hey everybody, it's your Steam pal Xylab here from Germany. I've been playing a little game called Paranormal Side from the not-so-little publisher Square Enix, and it's about a murder mystery happening in a small little place in Japan. It's set up around a few mysteries where a lot of weird little accidents happened in the past, and because these people all died very angry, there were curses born. And on a very specific night during which the game is set, a few people are thought out by these curses and have to kill each other. So it's becoming a curse bearer battle royale. It's a pretty dark game, and the setup fits the mood of October pretty perfectly. You're playing as multiple of these characters, which is pretty interesting if you ask me, since you're not only trying to solve these murders, you're also trying to commit them. For one part, the gameplay consists of a lot of text. If you are not a person who likes to read in video games, this might not be the game for you. The other part of the game is more or less like a point-and-click adventure. You are scanning your surroundings for things to interact with and finding people to speak to. It's set up around puzzles, none of which were so hard that you weren't able to solve them. There are death states, which is fine. I didn't really have a problem with replaying little bits and pieces here and there. And sometimes there's even a jump scare. It's October after all. So yeah, it's a game that fits the time of the year perfectly. And even better, it uses almost none of your Steam Deck battery. I played through it so far on 5 watts and it's been a steady 60 FPS, which is pretty great. You can play long sessions on the deck like this. And that's it from me. Hope you're having a great spooky October, and let me know what you think of the game in the comments. See you in a bit.
James here from Games Revealed, and I have to say what I am playing on the Steam Deck right now, and I have been for the past few months because it is a very, very big game, is Persona 5. This game is like it was meant to be played on the Steam Deck. It came out a couple years ago, and it is an anime-based RPG, and it is definitely not for everyone, but if you like long stories that have a lot of video in them, and then also have a lot of exploration and different aspects that you have to manage throughout the whole game, this is a game for you. as I can sit there and play on the couch. And then when it comes time to cook or clean in the kitchen or something like that, I can just watch one of the cutscenes, cook up some okonomiyaki, throw some good old Japanese flavors while I'm watching a Japanese game. And yes, it does have very long cutscenes. I'm not kidding. I swear some of them are 10, 20 minutes. It's not your thing, that's fine. It's a perfect game on the go. Is it the main game I'm playing right now? No, but it's the main game I'm playing right now on the Steam Deck, and I'm already like 70 hours into it, and I still have probably 30, 40 hours left in it. So it is a treat, and if you can get into that type of game, then I think you're going to like it too, and you're going to understand, hey, this game was meant for the Steam Deck. It runs smooth, it's perfect for the portability, and just to enjoy a nice little story while you're taking a stroll through the neighborhood, I guess. I don't know. It seems a little dangerous. Don't probably do that, but do play it. With that, peace out.
And so that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed this latest episode of Steam Pals and hearing about what games we're actually playing on our Steam Deck. Now, many of these you might already be familiar with, but I hope there was a few hidden gems in there as well. Be sure to tune in for the next episode of Steam Pals. The easiest way to know about it is to click on that like and subscribe button down below. And be sure to leave a comment down below telling us about your favorite Steam Deck game right now. There's so many to choose from. I'm always on the hunt for the next big thing. Again, my name is Russ from Retro Game Core, and I've been honored to be your host here today, and I hope we see you next time. Take it easy.